Hello guys, it's me again. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in this video, I will talk about the I-20 benefits. I will talk about I-20 meaning F1 student visa benefits, what you can do and what you cannot do, and pretty much talk to you about how to stay out of trouble and maintain your status and all that, the details, the I-20. And as usual, we're going to go to the source. I just don't speak out of my thoughts. I like to take you to the source. So we're going to look at the conditions of an F1 student. Like I said before, guys, when you understand something, then you're not afraid of it. When you understand it, then you know which way to draw, like to stay within the lines, so that in future, so that your plans in future cannot be jeopardized by the little missteps. This, when you come here as a student, just remember that you are, the way the US government looks at you is that you are a visitor. So it's just kind of like going to someone's house, guys. You have to play by the rules. You don't go to someone's house and you start becoming a boss. If you do that, then that person is not going to invite you. And if they are bold enough, they will kick you out. So assume that America is bold enough. They will kick you out if you don't play by the rules. And if you don't play by the rules with the current visa that you have, if it's I-20 or F1 student, then when you want to apply for a green card for a permanent residency, they'll revisit. Did you follow the rules before? And if you didn't in the past, they used to just penalize you with probably money. Like in the past, guys, like me, when I came here, they were still very lenient. They started being strict, like after 2009, when the economy tanked. 2008, 2009, they changed a lot of things. They're trying to protect their citizens. When the economy is not thriving, they're kind of like closing all the loopholes to make sure that the citizens get employment first, that they are being protected. So they started enforcing a lot of things. So in the past, like I said, if you violated, like if you worked illegally, if you worked out of campus without the necessary paperwork, they would just kind of, and you change your status, you want to become and you did an interview, trying to become a citizen or trying to become a permanent resident because maybe you got married to a citizen, or maybe you won the lottery, or maybe the employer is filing for you. In the past, they would just kind of slap you with a fine, like, don't do that again. Like, they're like, don't do that again. Just pay us $1,000. And people used to do that. Now, oh my God, they are not playing, guys. They are not playing. They will deny you from changing your status if you broke the rules. So let's learn what the rules are so that when you get it, you can follow the rules. Okay, so I'm going to share with you. They will have this information when they give you the I-20. It's gonna have like about I saw my nephews. I think it was how many pages? Mine, when I came here, guys, it was only one page. And at the back here, I wonder if it has any personal information. At the back here, guys, I don't know if you can see it. At the back here, they just had like the international student director write notes here. This is when I got a work permit, and they were just updating my information, and then it just had that. It didn't have a lot of pages. I looked at my nephew's I-20. Now they have like 3 pages that comes with this. So let's look at what the requirements are to keep your status and to be in good status. You're going to school, yes, but then there are so many temptations, and you'll find people probably breaking their status, and you're like, oh, you're joining too, or you're tempted because you want money and all that. But let's see what you can and what you cannot. So let's share this as usual. So this is the back of the I-20. So the first thing, guys, the first thing, kitu cha kwanza, my Kiswahili there is kind of broken. I don't know if that is making sense, whatever I said, kitu cha kwanza. Kitu ya kwanza ama kitu cha kwanza, whatever, guys, let's stick with English, right? Okay, so admission. When you enter the United States, you must present the following documents to the officer at the port of entry. So you're on your way, you've been given a visa. What are you supposed to present? Do you know, guys, let me talk. Do you know getting a visa at the country, like if you get a visa in Nairobi, is not guaranteed that they will admit you. It is not a guarantee that they will admit you at the port of entry. So you need to still have your, I'm trying not to say SHIT, together. You need to have your stuff together. That's just like I just feel like saying that because you really need to have it together. Because that immigration officer at the port of entry, it could be New York, Dallas, it could be Phoenix, it could be whatever. They're going to ask you questions. And the questions must match what you gave at the embassy. So the embassy people might give you the visa, but actually the person who lets you in is the most important person. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Okay, so when you come in, you present your I-20. So when you get your I-20, guys, you want to guard it like a baby. It's a very important document, so you don't lose it. So you present your I-20 at the port of entry, your visa, which will be stamped on your passport. Obviously the passport. And number 4, guys, the evidence of support for tuition and fees and living expenses while you are in the United States. So the same bank statement that you presented at the embassy, the officer will ask for it at the port of entry. So keep it securely. So I just wanted to show you guys that is not the end. Once you get the visa, you're like, oh, okay. Keep everything, keep all the documents that you presented at the visa, at the embassy intact. Okay. Number 2, guys, you have to report to the school named on your I-20. You have to report to that school. Otherwise, if you don't, sometimes I want to show you my face. It is hot, guys. Oh my God. You know, I'm by the window and the sun is hitting the window and then it's coming to me and I don't have my AC on. So if I'm sweaty on you guys. Anyways, so you report to the school that is on the I-20. If you don't, then the school will notify immigration that you did not report and you'll be wanted. So if you're seen somewhere, then you'll be deported. Okay, so that's just as simple as that. Report to the school that is in the I-20. At a later time, if you want to change the school, you have to be in that school, I believe, for 1 year. We'll find out in a moment. And then you can change schools if you don't like the weather. If you feel like you come here and you find a cheaper school, you can change. You're not like stuck in that school. But when you first come, go to that, should I say damn school? I just feel like emphasizing and I don't know what words to use to emphasize. I'm using like strong words, guys, sorry. I should go turn on my AC, guys, should I? Oh, okay, I hope I can go through this without getting up. Okay, so report to the school named in your I-20. Upon your first entry to the United States, you must report to the DSO. DSO is the International Student Designated School Officer at the school named in your I-20. We already talked about that. If you decide to attend another school before you enter the United States, you must present a Form I-20, a new one. If you change schools, lazima ukwe na new one. But there is no need to change schools once you get your visa. Come change it after you attend the school that you are given a visa for. Because if you do change school and get another I-20 and tell them, if you have, like, for instance, guys, if you have two I-20s, let me come back again here. So let's say, for instance, you applied, which I'm going to advise you to apply to more than one school, at least 3 schools. So let's say you went to the embassy and you got the visa. The consular gave you a visa for one school. Can you come here and say, oh, since I have 3 I-20s, let me change my mind and go to the other school that is not on the visa? No, you cannot. If you decide to do that, you have to go back to the consular. You have to go back to the embassy so that they can change on your visa that you're going to a different school. I have a friend actually who did that, got a visa for a different school, and then the dad was like, oh no. So that school had like 4 campuses, and her dad was kind of strict, and he saw that the campus that the daughter was going to come to was in a big town and all that. And he was like, no, don't go to that school, go to the campus that is in Mashambani. So she had to go back to the embassy, and they just revoked the visa and gave her a new visa. So that's how it's done. You have to do it officially. You can't do it kienyeji. Why? Because that I-20, we talked about it in the previous video, that I-20 has numbers, it has information. It's a document for the immigration department. It has a number. That I-20 has a number, and it's a way of tracking you. So if you come with a different I-20 and it's not matching and all that, then you're going to get in trouble. Okay. Alrighty. So tuendele. Where's the next one? Okay. So I think we've talked about that. You have to failure to enroll in the school by the program start date on your I-20 may result in the loss of your student status and subject to deportation. You guys, you don't want to be deported. You do not want to be deported, because if you're deported, you have to spend 10 years before you can qualify to come back to this country. So, mchezo tuache, right? Okay, so let's talk about the big benefits. Employment, guys. Employment. This is the exciting part. So you are allowed to work, right? But where are you allowed to work? So let's actually read. Let's just read as it states in the I-20. Unlawful employment in the United States is a reason for terminating your F1 status and deporting you from the United States of America. You may be employed on campus at your school. You may be employed off campus in a curricular practical training. So you may be employed in your school, that we already talked about in many other videos. So you can work in your school 20 hours, and sometimes the designated school officer can increase your hours based on they have a leeway. They can increase based on how much they need you. You can also work off campus, but if it is an internship. So I think this is what is called internship, this curricular practical training, that's internship. What do you call it in Kenya? Internship. There's another term. Oh, what's the internship term in Kenya? Internship. Oh, nimesahau. Sorry, guys. So you can work off campus for internship if you have written permission from your school. DSO is a designated school officer. So you can talk to your designated school officer, who is usually the director of international students. So you can talk to them and say, hey, you know what? You can apply for internships. So let's say you're doing computer science and you're in Washington State, Seattle, and Microsoft is just your neighbor over there. And you go to their website and you see that they have like internship positions and they pay. Some of them are paid, it's not free. And you see an internship and you apply for it and you get it. So you go talk to your designated school officer and tell them, hey, you know what? I've been accepted. And then they will approve it. That way you're not getting in trouble. Just do things formally, not kienyeji. Okay. If you have written permission from your DSO, we talked about it, you may apply to US Citizenship and Immigration Services for off-campus employment authorization under 3 circumstances. So guys, you don't need permission to work on campus, and you don't need permission to do internship from immigration officer. Iombili, those 2 things, employment in campus and internship, that is arranged between you and the school, the designated school officer, which is who is usually the director of international students. You will know who it is once you go to your school. So that one, you don't need to write any formal thing to immigration. USCIS is the immigration department. So however, you can work off campus, guys. You can work, I did. Let me come back. So when I came here, guys, the first year, I don't know if I've shared in one of the video. After the first year, I worked, yeah, I've shared. I worked off campus. So how did I work off campus? I went to the international student advisor. My parents are farmers. And when I came here, they gave me their bank statement. They gave me their bank statement showing that the bank statement, you will see, what is it? I almost said Maziwa ya Nyayo. Oh Lord. Okay. In my dad's bank statement, it was my dad's. In my dad's bank statement, you could see milk payments to KCC. You could see what is it called? Cereals. Yeah, you could see all that. And when my dad signed my affidavit, because I used his statement, they asked occupation, and I said farmer. So the next year, I read this and I knew I could work off campus, but they have conditions. So what are the conditions? You can write them, which I did. So I went to the international student advisor and I said, I want to work off campus because I cannot afford, my parents cannot afford anymore to sponsor me. So they needed evidence, or they needed my story. So I just told them my story was that there was drought at that time, that the farming inputs, or like my dad's business wasn't doing good. They didn't, with the farmer, you really never know. You really never know. Like today you're planting something, tomorrow the rains might get stuck in the clouds. So that's what I said. I said that they didn't get enough input from the farm, and right now they cannot afford to pay my fees. And they gave me a work permit, so I worked off campus. So that's what they're saying here, guys. So whoever is your sponsor, the person who signed your affidavits to come here, your bank statement, whatever their career is, there's hardships always. They understand that. These rules are not like written in pen, it's in pencil. It's not permanent. So this is what they are talking about. So you need to write them for off-campus employment authorization in 3 circumstances. So you can work off campus under 3 circumstances. 1, employment with you can work with an employer employment with an international organization. I guess for this one is like they're trying, really the bottom line is they're trying to protect American jobs. So an international organization is not usually based in the US. They just have probably a branch. So you can work with them. Number two, severe and unexpected economic hardship. So that's what I claimed. It was severe in terms of, there are no feeds, there's no money coming in, there's no money, right? And number three, you can work off campus. I already talked to you about this. This is after you graduate. After you graduate, let's say nursing or engineering, after you graduate, guys, you get what they call OPT. So they are calling it practical. So if it is STEM, which is sciences, nursing, which is included, you get up to 3 years. So you graduate and work 3 years without no conditions of campus. So those are the 3 conditions. But what applies to you here is probably you might not get, it's hard to get like those international organizations hiring you, but you can bank on the severe and unexpected. It happens all the time. You just need to tell your story, unexpected economic hardships, and they will send you a work permit and you can work off campus. The reason off-campus employment is better is because you probably are going to get better pay. The college jobs don't pay too a lot. They usually, you will get like minimum wage. Okay. Oh my God, this video is going to be long. Okay, so let's talk about period of stay. You may remain in the United States while taking a full course of study or during authorized employment after your program. Okay, tusome tena. You may remain in the United States while taking a full course of study. So that's a given. A full load is 12 semester credits, right? So they are saying you will stay here as long as you keep your status, as long as you follow the rules. The rules are you continue taking a full load, 12 credits for a semester, which is usually 4 classes a semester. Semester has about 3.5 months, and if it goes too long, it is 4 months, okay? So you may remain here. They're telling you, you may remain here. F1 status ends and you are required to leave the United States on the earliest of your following dates. The program end date. So when can you leave the United States? We are hoping you don't. That's why we are doing this video, so that you can change your status after you graduate. We don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. I want you to be a new immigrant. But when you go to the embassy, you're not going to tell them that you are going to stay here, right? They train, let me go off. They train the consulars. They train those US embassy employees to assume that everybody that comes to ask for a visa has intentions to stay in America, which is almost 95% true. So they know that you're probably using a student's visa as a pathway to come and stay here permanently. So your job is to convince that officer at the embassy that you're coming here temporary. And we'll talk about social ties. That's why they ask you, or that's why you have to show that you still have social ties in your country. Some of the social ties is, my parents are still here. I have all my sisters or my brothers in the country. I have a church. I am a leader somewhere. Some of those social ties. So they want you to leave, but you have to show them. It's your responsibility to show them that you're not going to stay. So they want you to leave. Not only I-20, the I-20 that we talked about, it has an end date. So they want you to leave after your end date or after your OPT. This one here, when you get that job 2 to 3 years, they want you to leave. But you don't have to leave. You can extend, and it's coming up here. You can extend your studies. So after you graduate with an associate degree or maybe a 4-year degree. If you don't want to take that break, which I'm going to encourage you to take that break and go work, you need money, you want to interact with people outside school. If you're single, go interact with people, get married to Americans, fall in love to a new culture with a new person, just experience life. So I would encourage you to not go to school, boom, 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 boom. Take that break, make some money, and just see how adulting is, right? Make money and interact with Americans, with everybody else. You've been working so hard. So give yourself that break. You do have up to 3 years to work. After that 3 years expires, then if you haven't changed your status, if you're not successful finding love, which I am really going to encourage you to find love, fall in love, and change your status to permanent resident, become a citizen, then you don't have to deal with a lot of things. It is one of the easiest ways. Just fall in love with one of Americans, right? Or if you're lucky, your employer will file for you. But if none of that happens, you do have options. You have options. Let's see those options. The options are, you're going to extend your program. If you cannot complete the education program by the program end date on page 1, you should contact your DSO at least 15 days. And guys, Americans are so particular with dates. When they say these 15 days, don't even say, oh, I'll just do it. It is 15 days. If that 15 days expires, then you didn't follow the rules, they will deny you. So sometimes, I guess this one they are saying, sometimes your program might extend. Maybe you failed a class or 2, or maybe you fell sick and you had to take a break. Things happen. You're a human being, and life happens. When that life happens and you don't complete your nursing school, your engineering school within the designated time that shows in your I-20, you can extend, but you need to extend it within a specific time. You should contact your DSO, Shule, your school, at least 15 days before the program end date to request an extension, and they're going to give you that extension. And I was talking about, if you don't find, school transfer. Here's a school transfer. Oh my God, how many minutes have I been going? Because I don't want to go too long. I guess to Malize too. Okay, let's just finish this school transfer and then we can do another video another time. School transfer. So I had talked about, guys, if you don't like the school, or if you don't like the weather, if you find another cheap school, these are the conditions. To transfer schools, first notify the DSO. DSO is your international student advisor. Notify them your plan to transfer, then obtain an I-20 from the DSO at the school you plan to attend. So now you have to pursue the other new I-20 because you're going to transfer. So you have to, before they release you, you have to have the new I-20 to the school that you're transferring to. And return the Form I-20 for the new school to the DSO at that school within 15 days after beginning attendance at the new school. The DSO will then report the transfer to the Department of Homeland Security. You must enroll in the new school at least at the next session start date. The DSO will, at the new school, must update your registration in SAVIS. So you see, it's all organized, guys. They're saying you can transfer schools. Yes, you are not stuck. When you come here and find new opportunities in a different school, or maybe find a course that you want that your current school is not giving you, you can transfer, but you have to do it in accordance with the requirements. So you have to return the old I-20 once you report to the new school. So that was self-explanatory, guys. So follow the rules, guys. I just wanted to go through that. I don't want this to be longer than it should be. We'll talk about other details another time. I appreciate you guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Wacha to break to marambili. Let's break this I-20 thing into 2 videos. Because I understand you as a human being, you're not going to be paying attention if I do 1-hour videos. No, ata mimi, I don't watch 1-hour videos. So I'll see you next time. Until then, kwaheri. Where is the end?